You know what's so crazy? We go from applauding the Giants to playing that pogo stick game where you have to just bouncing up and down on the Giants organization.
Oh, what does that package even look like, though?
Whoa, what a huge package.
It's a lot of AO activity going on.
This is AO activity?
Okay.
Yeah. You over here on Joe Shane like crazy,
you're
bro.
Prime Minister of AO activity.
On Joe Shane. As you.
Hey, yo.
My life is perfectly fine. And it will continue to be perfectly fine. So I'm with it. We team nut hang. Simple as that.
Yeah, you got it.
This is WHPC Sports Talk.
Yes, Kory. They said Team Nut Hang on the intro. I knew you was caught off guard by that one.
Hey, yo.
4 o'clock, your day just got better. Welcome to the Friday edition of WHPC Sports Talk here on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. It is Joshua Umahi as your host, joined by Kory David and Nico Each. Fellas, how we doing?
The nuts are hanging today.
They are.
The nuts are hanging.
Clearly hanging today.
I can't complain. Everything's solid right now.
Everything?
Yeah, what's the complaint about?
$40 million a year for Daniel Jones. I mean, personally, I would complain about that. That's just me. But the Rangers won last night, so I feel
just
good.
enjoy your Jordan Love, man. Just enjoy Jordan Love.
I will enjoy Jordan Love.
Jordan
For
Love got
cheap,
promise.
too.
Listen, I'm not even going to clown you about the Justin Love thing. But, Jordan Love got
I was
promise.
about to bring it up myself.
Were you?
Yeah, I was.
You were?
I was.
All right. What you guys say we get right into the show, all right?
Let's do that.
So, obviously, the Giants giving Daniel Jones all that money. We've talked about it enough all week. As a result, Saquon Barkley received the franchise tag, and they can negotiate a deal until July 15th. So, there's that. We're still waiting on this Jets news with Aaron Rodgers. We're going to start with the Giants and the Jets and then go into Lamar Jackson. And a busy day in the NFL overall. Before I do, though, 516-572-7440. Dial that number. You can join the show. You want to talk about... You can talk about whatever the hell if you call up. You can talk about baseball, basketball, hockey, football,
cheese.
Curling, not cheese. You can talk about anything.
We can talk about cheese.
We really don't need to talk about cheese. We can talk about sports, though. If you call in, join the conversation. But let's start with the Giants and the Jets. I want to start with the Jets, though, because Aaron Rodgers really going to have us waiting just days, weeks, maybe months. Like the drama queen he is. I mean, look, it's easy enough. The Jets are the only team that wants him. I think this guy's playing this because there's no way he's walking away from all that guaranteed money on his deal if he can still play at a high level. And there's a team that really wants him. I think he can still play at a decent enough level for the right team. That right team just so happens to be the Jets.
I think at this point it's either Jets or retirement. I don't think he wants to go back to Green Bay.
Well, yeah, I think we've been covered that.
Mm-hmm.
I think we've been covered that.
We're just waiting for a good package now. That's all they're waiting for.
What type of package?
Slanging.
Oh, man.
A big type package?
Just a huge one.
What? No, seriously. Who would... all right, in a situation like that, are you trying to get like some of their receivers or defensive players? Because you do...
I think what I've been hearing is Rodgers and Lazard's signing rights for 2 first-round picks. That's what I was hearing. Because it's not just Rodgers going to the Jets. It's Rodgers and another piece.
That's interesting. I'm not too... Rodgers and Lazard for 2 first? I'm not too sure.
That's what I've been hearing.
I would feel like...
If it's just Rodgers, it's for a first and maybe like a second or a third.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm giving them a first.
But they want to push for 2 firsts.
As they should.
Yeah, I mean, what was the early reports? 3 firsts? So...
Yeah, that's not happening. And the Packers ain't getting 3 firsts. If you get 2 firsts, that's a huge win. If you get a first and a second, I think that might be where we're headed. But we know the Packers, this is phase 1 of the dealings with Aaron Rodgers and the Jets. Phase 1 is what is Rodgers going to wind up doing? I think he comes back to play his 19th NFL season. Now, phase 2 will be Packers and the Jets reaching some kind of compensation package for Aaron Rodgers and the exchange and trades, and we explained how trades worked on Wednesday. So,
yeah,
we all got that.
We got a good understanding on how trades
work. We covered it. We got it covered. But we're in phase 1 right now. Who knows how long phase 1's going to last, though? because, listen, the Jets flew to see this guy on Monday. We're at Friday, no movement still, and you talk to, or you ask, or you listen to these NFL insiders that'll hop on Get Up, First Take, The Rich Eisen Show, any like mainstay NFL news show. Nobody has any idea what Aaron Rodgers wants to do. It's all, he's kept us all in the dark. It's really up to him, and we're just all playing the Aaron Rodgers game and just waiting. And you want to know all the similarities between Rodgers and Brett Favre. When he joined the Jets in 2008, Brett Favre made his decision. Well, he didn't really make a decision. The Packers just like, yeah, you're going to the Jets, buddy. He didn't really want to be in New York, but that's what happened. Aaron Rodgers, the main difference in this situation is that he has all the leverage in the situation. So we're left at his mercy to just wait and wait and wait and wait and wait and wait.
Just quick thing. Did y'all see the Mekhi Becton picture?
I didn't.
He lost a lot of weight. Like a tremendous amount. Look. If you look at these two pictures, that don't look like the same human being.
Well, good for him. Good for him. He needed to do that.
Yeah, I'm thinking now I'm hoping that with a slimmer frame, he's able to stay more healthier. And that's something that might be a little more enticing with Aaron Rodgers coming, more like protection wise. I want to know what pieces that the Packers want, like besides picks. Like, wouldn't you want a piece, like a actual?
Yeah, but what can the Jets give up? Realistically, nothing. That team is perfectly set up right now.
It is, and even though they just got rid of my guy Braxton Berrios.
No, boo-hoo.
Your guy?
That's my guy.
Boo-hoo. Braxton Berrios. Braxton Berrios.
He was with the,
you have the weirdest guys, bro. Like,
he was with them when they was down. It was like, he was one of the shining pieces when they was trash. And now, just to cut him like that, even though a lot of teams are cutting players, I do want to see what they're going to do at the slot. I mean, we'll see. Is Elijah Moore going to have more of a predominant role at the slot now?
Well, Sauce is recruiting OBJ right now, so. If
OBJ goes to any team other than the New York Giants in New York, I don't even want him in Buffalo, even though we don't consider that.
Well, the thing with Odell Beckham, and by the way, Sauce Gardner, I respect the efforts in recruiting, but I mean the slurper just got a little.
He wants a Super Bowl, man.
You talk about doing whole skits and being on FaceTime with Odell Beckham and the purple hair. I don't know, Sauce. I respect the effort, though, to make your team better. I respect it. But Odell Beckham, he's going to want, $10 million per year from his new team? He's set to actually hold a workout, I think, sometime today in Arizona for some teams that want to check him out and see if he's worthy for a big deal after missing a whole year with that ACL reconstruction. But with the Jets, it's Aaron Rodgers is obviously their main guy right now. I actually think it's their best option right now. We can talk about Lamar Jackson in a couple minutes all we want, but this is the most realistic thing for the Jets to do. As far as it goes with Aaron Rodgers, and so say he comes to the Jets. What follows? Is it Odell Beckham? Is it other veteran wide receivers like we saw with Brady in Tampa Bay? The second Tom Brady went to Tampa Bay, Tampa Bay was never a free agent destination. Man, they got Gronk. They got Antonio Brown. They got all these guys just out of nowhere because they want to play with that Hall of Fame guy with a young team. It's the same kind of thing with the Jets. And I know we have Braden, our Jets fan, our resident Jets fan, who's a little more on the negative side, but Aaron Rodgers would be a huge get. Like, if you get Aaron Rodgers, you're in business in the AFC. And that's saying something about how good this Jets team is with the Chiefs, with the Bills, with the Bengals, with the Ravens. We're still seeing how it works out with Lamar Jackson. And if he comes back there, do they get him actual weapons? But if you get Aaron Rodgers and what follows with Aaron Rodgers, like if you're a Jets fan, I was kind of downplaying it all week, just kind of making fun of Aaron Rodgers and him being a drama or whatever. But if you're a Jets fan, you got to be biting your teeth and you got to be on the edge of your seat, because if this guy comes to you, you're set. If he doesn't, what the hell do you do? What do? You're really left in no man's land.
You better try to draft up that Draft board, man. Trade up that draft board. Get a quarterback.
They gonna stock up them porn star Jimmy jerseys quick. Because guys like Jimmy G and Jacoby Brissett and guys like that, they're not going to do anything until this Aaron Rodgers thing is settled.
Yeah.
So it's not just the Jets he has in hiatus right now. It's the entire free agency.
Yeah, I feel like if all you have to do, if Aaron Rodgers decides not to go to the Jets, you most definitely have to consider Lamar Jackson, especially when you say 2 first-round picks, right? And people think that's a lot. I'm like, Russell Wilson got, I think, 3.
Yep.
Jamal Adams got 2 first-round picks. I want to say Tyreek Hill last season, he got a plethora. I think he got like 2 firsts.
1 first,
But then you're putting all like your chips in one.
You mean a 26-year-old?
You're going all in?
A 26-year-old.
Where the Ravens could just copy that offer.
Well, I think there's a threshold. If you go past that threshold that the Ravens necessarily don't want to do, you got your guy.
I think the Ravens are just waiting to see someone else map out that contract for them and just sign it.
Yeah, exactly. But the difference between that is with a Deshaun Watson situation was nobody wanted to go to Cleveland, so they had to put up a deal that nobody else could put up. I think in a sense with the Jets, if you were to get Lamar, and then you have to also take into account that you after like a year or two, you could probably restructure that deal. So it may look crazy on the front end, but you can restructure it. They're already talking to Deshaun to restructure his deal. Tyreek Hill, after getting all that big money, after 1 year, is already restructuring his deal to create cap. So I'm like, if you look at it, sometimes those hits are not necessarily as bad as you think. And if all you have to do is give up 2 firsts for a 26-year-old former MVP, and when many people talk about Lamar, they forget the fact that even though he was injured last year, he did so much that they were already playoff contenders where he could sat out for the remainder of the season. At one point, remember, the Ravens were the leaders of the division, and that's with Joe Burrow and everything. I believe he's 6-2 against the Bengals career wise.
So if you're the Jets, what contract are you giving them? Are you giving Lamar Jackson? Because if Daniel Jones has got $40 million a year, it's going to be a high number.
Yeah, it's going to be more. It's most definitely going to be more than $40 million. I'm just I know it's not going to be anywhere close to the Deshaun Watson deal. I don't think. I think it's going to be more about what lies in the guaranteed money. Like that's all it's been about for Lamar. I think is about the exact guaranteed money, and I don't think he wants to do a crazy amount. And then, like I said again, you can restructure it after a year or 2.
Like the Browns are trying to do with Deshaun Watson right now, and they're pretty much going to do that every offseason. And then that contract is crazy.
And then the ill part about the Lamar to the Jets situation is the fact that if you only have to give up 2 firsts, right? That necessarily means you don't have to give up a player. Because if they would have put the exclusive tag on him, then they could have dictated what he could have been traded for. Like, oh, we want this to set him out, but the going rate is 2 firsts. So then, if Lamar goes to the Jets, the team is already set in place. You don't have to give up players. And I can't imagine if I seen what he was able to do with the Baltimore Ravens weapons, and that's little to none. I could imagine what he would do in a Jets offense.
I'm going to use this conversation to segue to the Lamar Jackson conversation I want to get to, but I just want to close the Jets book for today. So, Jets brass believe they are still, quote, poised to land Rodgers after their West Coast meeting. They're pretty confident in it.
I with a shadow of doubt, I believe that Aaron Rodgers will be a Jet.
That's how I'm feeling too.
But now, how long will he be a Jet for? I'm not sure about, because I feel like.
Well, you're not worried about that now. You're just worried about this. It's a year-to-year basis if you get Rodgers.
I'm not worried about it now, but the thing is, though, I want to see how it's going to go, but I feel Kyrie to Brooklyn Nets type vibes going to happen.
Well, I'm happy you brought up Kyrie, actually, because we just saw, and I was talking to Nets fans right when KD and Kyrie signed, and I know you got 2 of the most talented players in NBA history, but what I was saying, and they called it hating. They said I was hating. I'm like, yo, you really think, how do you think Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving are going to handle the New York media? And they wanted to, it's the Brooklyn Nets, they're the lesser. It's New York media is New York media. It don't matter. And what wound up happening, Kevin Durant was fighting with reporters just like he did in Golden State, just like he did in OKC. And Kyrie, we know what happened. We know what happened with him in the media. It was a whole 3-4 year battle. Aaron Rodgers and Kyrie Irving are the most two similar people I could think of in sports.
Yeah.
I know. I'm just on the basis of like they're all like Zen and come to my darkness retreat, and I gotta miss 5 games for my sister's birthday and all this stuff, and the vaccine or immunized. It's a lot of, if you put a Venn diagram, Aaron Rodgers and Kyrie Irving, it's a lot of stuff in the middle. That's what I'm trying to say. So if Aaron Rodgers comes here, the New York media, that's going to be something to watch, and you can say it's an overstated thing all you want, but they can ask him about, what if Aaron Rodgers is just giving out details on the Pat McAfee show and Jets reporters are like, yo, what the hell are you doing? That could start something. It's a lot of things that could happen when you have a guy like Aaron Rodgers and you have an entity like the New York sports media. So I don't know. That's going to be something to watch too, but I do think this is a done deal. It's just a matter of Rodgers deciding to stop playing like this a theater show or a drama and finally make his decision. So there's that with the Jets. Want to remind everybody that the number to call is 516-572-7440. Talk about anything. We're talking about the Jets in the NFL offseason right now, but let's move on to Lamar Jackson. Had a pretty good conversation on Wednesday, but I think we need to add more context to it. So just to set the scene again, Lamar Jackson, non-exclusive franchise tagged by the Ravens on Tuesday afternoon. And right after that, it's crazy. And I don't believe in coincidences. Every single quarterback needy team that isn't in immediate position to upgrade via the draft basically said, 26-year-old MVP? Nah. Y'all can have that. We're good. All at the same time.
But to Nico's point of the fact that he said you don't want a situation where it's like, oh, you carve out this contract and then you do all this legwork and then Baltimore just comes in and just swoops in and then just matches it. And then you also got to take into account that you're not legally allowed to tamper with him technically until Wednesday. So you really can't say anything right now. Yes, teams are trying to. I feel like are throwing a smoke screen, but somebody said it only takes one team. It only takes one team to offer that contract. Like with Deshaun Watson, he did not want to go to Cleveland. Be honest, nobody wants to go to Cleveland. As Joakim Noah would say, who wants a vacation in Cleveland? But Cleveland had to be desperate enough. They were off the list. They were off his top 5 basically, and it was like down to a situation where it was like they had to offer an exuberant amount of money to get back in there. And I think with Lamar Jackson's situation is you just need one team to take a chance on. And I feel like there will be a team. I feel like a situation like the Commanders should be scratching tooth and nail to get a guy like Lamar Jackson. I feel like we said earlier, I feel like the Jets are set at the position that they want. Atlanta Falcons, I think that they're secure with Desmond Ridder. Unfortunately,
man, stop.
I think that they're going to see what they can do for a year.
Secure with Desmond Ridder is a wild sentence.
I have this.
You know what they're waiting for, though, right?
What they're waiting for?
Caleb.
Maybe they want to tank. Maybe if that's their plan.
A lot of these teams are going to be doing that.
Actually, if that's their plan, I'm with it.
I feel like a lot of teams, in a way, are just like just backing on, seeing what happens. But I feel like Lamar, and I believe the outcome is going to happen like this. He's probably going to play on the franchise, but I don't think he signs it until like the first week of September.
I'm sorry. Here's why I just can't see, and I know we were talking about this on Wednesday, but I just can't see Lamar Jackson playing on the franchise tag. He just played for $1.7 million. Just $1.7 million.
But you'll be playing for
this past season.
Full year for. You'll be playing for a full year, 32 fully guaranteed contract.
But I'm just saying, though, if you make the decision, and I know Lamar Jackson doesn't have an agent and he's relying heavily on his mom and the NFLPA, but if you make that decision, 1.7, you're basically putting all your poker chips in the middle of the table and you're like, I'm getting my money, I'm getting my long-term deal, the exact deal I want, no matter what, this coming off season. That's the mindset he was going into it with. No, and he wasn't worried about injuries because I think there's no agent that would ever allow Lamar Jackson, if he had an agent, to be like, oh, go play a 17-game season for $1.7 million. It's not going to happen. But he's thinking like, I'm a hot commodity. I just saw Deshaun Watson miss a whole damn year of football, and Deshaun Watson's a very relevant piece in this still. He missed a whole year of football with 22 allegations, and he's like, who cares if I get hurt? I'm still going to get my money.
And then people also got to take into account, they always say that Lamar's, he missed I want to say, 10 games so far in the last 2 years. People forget, Deshaun Watson tore his ACL, the second year?
Yep. First year.
No.
Well, first year as a starter.
No, he tore it the second year, in training camp, I believe, right? At the start, because he had that breakout year. Then coming into the next season, he tore it before, and then he really didn't play that much. I believe I'm correct, it was second year.
I'll look it up.
But to that point, I just feel as though a lot of narratives are being pushed on Lamar right now. And I think that he's going through a situation where it's going to be a lot of hurt feelings because, as you said, he doesn't have an agent. And so, necessarily, when you have an agent, you have that buffer who will tell you basically, he'll give you kind of like a soft version of what the owner or the GM said about you, but just talk about the deal. And when you don't have an agent, you hear it directly from them. Like the guy that drafted you was saying, "Oh, you're injury prone. Oh, you're not this consistent as a passer," and this and stuff. So I feel like, and then the fact that you put the non-exclusive on him and just said, go out there and go test the market, I feel like there's going to be a lot of hurt feelings. And as I think that he's going to play on the tag.
He's not playing on the tag.
He's going to play on the tag because you got to look at it like this, right? He's all about guaranteed money, right? Who's probably one of the persons that finessed the NFL out of the most money in the last couple years?
Kirk Cousins.
This
is a completely different situation, though.
Kirk Cousins was able to get his freedom because that's the only way you're going to get closer to unrestricted free agency. That's the only way because they can tag you twice.
He's basically in restricted free agency now. That's what it is. Yeah. But there's no way you're going through all of this just to play on a franchise tag. Lamar Jackson looks crazy, and he gives the NFLPA then a bad look if after playing on $1.7 million, he plays on the franchise tag next year. You can't do that.
What can you do? What honestly, what can he do? He has no other options.
Either he's going to get a long-term deal, whether he settles.
He's not going to settle. He's not going to settle. I would rather play on a franchise, get that 1 year fully guaranteed, right? And I'm 1 year closer to restricted free agent because guess what? After that 1 year, that 40 mil I was looking for, that 40 to 45 mil that I was looking for, guaranteed per year, I'm going to get that automatically the next year if you try to franchise me. And then if you try to franchise me a third year, that goes up to an astronomical price that probably no quarterback has ever seen before because they don't franchise tag you the third year. You notice that's why Washington didn't do it with Kirk Cousins. So
what do you think's more likely? Lamar Jackson gets his fully guaranteed or close to fully guaranteed deal, or he plays on the franchise tag?
He plays on the franchise tag. And you
don't think there's going to be one desperate team that just jumps in and is like, yo, we got to get this guy?
I mean, there's possible, but they would have to put up a crazy, like I said, it has to be a crazy contract. I feel like there is possibly one team out there that is risky enough to do it just off the fact that they know the talent that he has. He is a winning quarterback. And
highest winning percentage in NFL history?
Close to it. I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure. He's close to it, but I know he's 45 or 46 in 17, excluding playoff records. He with him playing the tag, right? And I said this on Twitter. I was like, I forgot why I said it. I'm pulling the Scottie Pippen. Did you watch The Last Dance?
Yeah, but tell the listeners what you're talking about.
Well, Scottie Pippen was like this. The Bulls was being funny with the money, and I want to say the 1998 season, and he was like he had to get a surgery, right? He was supposed to get a surgery, and it was like, as he said, I'm not going to mess up my summer. So he's like this, I'm going to enjoy my summer, then I'll worry about that. And I think Lamar Jackson could be in a similar situation where he could wait until the first week of September to sign his contract, or if he wants to. And then how people are saying he's injury prone. He could wait up to week 10 and not sign. Because guess what? And he can't be fined if he doesn't sign the franchise tag, because if he sits out and holds out, he can't be fined because technically he's not under contract. It's almost a similar situation to what Le'Veon Bell is going through.
It's funny you bring up Scottie Pippen because watching that documentary, it's crazy that he accepted once upon a time a 7-year, $18 million deal.
But you gotta understand what type of situation he was in. He was like, I needed the money now. I had to support my family, everything like that. But with Lamar Jackson, I feel like he's one of those guys that he stands on principle. And the one thing you can say about him is, and it's unfortunate, is nice guys finish last. He's one of those guys that has not said anything in the media about the Baltimore Ravens organization. He hasn't taken down any of the Baltimore Ravens posts. And he's just tweeting and Instagramming like a regular person. He's not saying any disparaging remarks. He's being a nice guy about it. I almost liken it to if you watch UFC, Francis Ngannou. In the negotiations, he was a nice guy. He's still a nice guy. Doesn't have a bad thing to say about the UFC. But in the end, he's still going to lose because you have a situation where John Jones is now the champion, and it looks bad. And then with the Baltimore Ravens, it's almost like saying, go out there, seek a deal, but regardless, we're going to bring you back. And I feel like it's going to hurt feelings. He's done everything you possibly can for the organization. He doesn't have scandals. He's been a model citizen in the league. He's considered one of the faces of the league. When you go to a Baltimore Ravens game, you see all those 8 jerseys, and I can attest to it because as being a New York Giants fan, if Baltimore is playing, I'm definitely watching that as well. Those if it's between the Giants and the Baltimore Ravens that I'll watch just because of Lamar Jackson. He has that it factor.
I still think before we move on, we got to cover the collusion angle with this. Because I think it's still a very real possibility. In my mind, it's fact, but
it may smell like it, but you can't prove it.
Oh man, Nico, you wanna speak to the jury?
It's the truth, Nico.
I got a question for you, Kory.
Yeah.
This is really off topic. It's about football, I guess. O.J. Simpson, did he do it? Do you think he did it?
It's not about if he did or didn't.
Do you think he did it? Yes.
I just want to say
yes or no.
You can't prove it.
Yes or no.
I prefer not to answer this on the radio.
All right. Well, Kory's answer is no.
No, I did not say that. I did not say that.
So then say yes.
Well,
no, that could be a very. I want to say a very.
Just show the camera.
1 second. Flip it. What do you think?
Yes.
Oh,
I think it was a 2-man job, but
allegedly.
Well, no. I mean, it's what I think. It's my opinion.
But in this situation, and it relates to football, right? It's not about what you know. It's about what you can prove.
Oh man,
Kory, I can say that about so many things in life.
Unfortunately, it is.
But
so
I hate them.
Panthers, Raiders, Falcons, Commanders, Dolphins. Literally every single quarterback needy team that can't upgrade via the draft that easy with Stroud, Young, or Levi, or Richardson, or somebody. Within a half-hour window, they're all like, nah. Lamar Jackson, nah. Top 10 winning percentage in NFL history, nah. We're good. We'll stick with Sam Howell. We'll pick up Tua Tagovailoa as 5th-year option. We'll stick with Desmond Ridder.
As Nico alluded to,
coincidence.
Nobody wants to do the dirty work for the Baltimore Ravens.
That's a fact, unfortunately.
So you think there's no ties to what happened with Deshaun Watson last offseason? No.
Of course,
no, definitely is.
I mean, of course, no team.
So that's cool.
But guess what? But the thing is, though, nobody has to be like, hey, send a text. We're not doing this deal. Everybody knows not to do this deal because everybody knows Cleveland was stupid.
Everybody knows not to do this deal because NFL GMs are colluding against Lamar Jackson and the fully guaranteed contract that he wants. He's publicly stated he wants. That's a definition of collusion. That's what I'm trying to say.
All right. So looking at this angle now,
it may look like it, but do you have somebody actually going out there and say, "Hey, like all the GMs getting into a room and just going"?
That's not yo.
That no. Guess what? It's not about. It's not. It may look like collusion. It probably is collusion, but can you prove it's collusion?
According to reports, this has been going on. You can tell that. Opposing owners, we just talk about Joe Burrow, how the Browns contract messed it up for the Bengals with Joe Burrow and the Ravens right now with Lamar Jackson. That fully guaranteed stuff that Joe Burrow's pretty much earned more of than Deshaun Watson has. That's been a whole conversation with the owners. That trickles down to the GMs. It trickles down to the situation we're seeing now.
Question, right? And I'm going to go to the NBA a little bit. We know in the NBA tampering happens, right?
Yeah, obviously.
In any sport, tampering happens, right? But guess what? Sometimes, they can't prove that the tampering happened. So guess what? Nothing happens. No player is fine. No team is fine.
They couldn't prove it with the Knicks with Brunson. They still docked a second-round pick.
Okay, I'll give you an example. We know collusion happened with Kaepernick, right? We know it happened, right? Guess what? The NFL knows it happened, but guess what? They couldn't prove, like Kaepernick couldn't prove it, so he settled. He took the settlement. He could afford it. He could have possibly won, but he didn't. He took a settlement. He knows something. He knows it was collusion, but it was his case strong enough.
So same way I know it's collusion, but
you can't prove it's collusion.
But I know it's collusion though.
Yeah, we know it's collusion.
So that's my point. So okay, thanks for proving my point.
Yeah, we know
we know it's collusion,
but we can't prove it in.
But it's collusion.
It's collusion.
You can say it, but
it's not.
You can't say it as a fact. You have to say it as an opinion.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice to say out there and throw it, but nothing's going to happen to the owners because guess what? You can't prove it.
Yeah, you can't even try to prove it.
This Kory,
and then you have
Kory's actually right. I can't believe I'm saying this, but he's right.
And then you'll have guys like
he's not right.
No,
he is very right.
And
you can't prove it.
You know the worst part about bringing up the collusion in this situation? You got some of these players actually talking about using it in the wrong context. You have Hollywood Brown out here talking about Kelvin Beachum there's so much collusion going on in our team. I'm like, you using it in the wrong context, Hollywood.
Kory, so you think that hypothetically I could just walk up with a microphone to Roger Goodell and be like, "Hey, Roger, is there collusion going on with Lamar Jackson?" "Oh yeah, Joshua, there's we're conspiring against him. We don't want another fully guaranteed."
No, he'll never say that.
But how you can prove it is maybe the NFL starts an investigation, text messages, emails, recorded phone calls.
If you can find that information out, then you got something.
Yeah,
but guess what? If you don't got that type of information, you got nothing. It's just a word. It's like, SpongeBob where he has the word imagination. It's going to be like this, collusion.
So what if Lamar Jackson presses a lawsuit like we've seen Brian Flores, a coach, do?
If he presses a lawsuit, they would have to investigate. And if you believe your case is strong enough, he might have something.
Mm-hmm. But I can tell you right now, all that's deleted at this point.
But if he doesn't have a backing, right? You know who's going to lose money? Lamar Jackson. You know who has the money to, go to court and actually handle these type of situations? The NFL, a multi-billion-dollar corporation. And Lamar is barely making over $32 million. At this point, that's like saying Taysom Hill, who's one of the lower end players, trying to go out and do something like that. You ain't got the capacity to do that, my guy.
I love how we turned this into a court of law discussion. I'm just trying to ask the question: do we think it's collusion or not?
Of course, we think it's collusion.
So,
yes, we think it's collusion.
Kory's just saying that you can't prove it.
Why do you just go on Law and Order on me then? If you know it's collusion,
because
do I look like a judge to you?
You can't do nothing about it.
Do I look like a defense lawyer?
My thing is,
I'm not saying he's gonna do something.
Yeah. Then what's the point of bringing up the collusion?
Because it's collusion. Can we just acknowledge it's collusion and be let's move on then?
We can acknowledge something is going.
Well, we can imagine
something is rotten. Something is rotten in Denmark. So what? That's a saying when there's like something is fishy, something don't smell right. But yeah,
interesting.
Really interesting.
But yeah, it's a nice thing to say with collusion, but nothing's going to progress from it. Lamar Jackson's going to have to make the decision. Like you said, now I feel like he's going to play on the franchise tag. And he could he technically has three. He has three options. There's only three options in this entire thing. So he can settle for whatever Baltimore's giving him, right? You can hope that a team out there is desperate enough and willing enough to give you the contract that you want that Baltimore is not able to match. Thirdly, you play on the tag, and actually I'll throw in another one. You sit out the whole year. You pull a Le'Veon Bell. And I'm surprised because it's like literally all these teams kind of relate in this situation because you had the Steelers, right? Who at one point, their biggest opportunity to make it to Super Bowl was with the Killer Bees, right? And what factored that? The money with Le'Veon Bell and the franchise tag. That's what started the downfall of that team. Because he sat out. He didn't want to play on the franchise tag for his second year because you feel disrespected as a player. Then you have Cleveland doing what they did, and it's just like this. It's almost like it's crazy how a lot of these situations relate to each other in the AFC North.
All I gotta say after that conversation is thank you guys so much for enlightening me on sports law and you guys must have taken the sports law class because that was just like that was great.
Hey,
when I wrote on the topic sheet, do you believe it's collusion? Y'all are trying to say, in court, we can't prove it.
Do you want to know how trades work too, Josh? Because Kory can tell us.
I watch a little too much Law and Order.
Yeah, y'all.
He can tell us.
Kory's been educating us all week on sports talk.
Exactly. You know, I'm the oldest in the room. I gotta educate the young folks.
Yeah, for sure.
How's the AARP car going?
That's good.
You got any rewards yet?
That's good.
Come on, Kory, fight back. Come on, man.
Nah, I'm good.
While you think of a response, let me remind everybody that they are listening to WHPC Sports Talk on the Voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. Joshua Umahi, Nico Each, Gen Zers, and Kory the Millennial.
Ain't nothing wrong about it.
Are you happy? I finally acknowledged my. I'm not transgeneration anymore. I'm a Gen Zer.
Yeah, I'm
walking loud and proud with it.
You ain't in the club. You ain't a 90s baby.
Oh no!
He's a
90s baby. He's a 90s baby.
I grew up watching Rugrats and all that, and Rugrats.
Nah, you a 2000. You one of them 2000s. You one of them new ones. You with the LaMelo Balls.
Nah. See, now you're getting disrespectful. Nah. I'm not one of them LaMelo Balls. LaMelo Balls, the real Melo. That's not me.
You ever seen like the draft? You ever seen when they do like the draft and they say like they'll show like mad stuff from like the 90s and like see if the players can guess it? That's what I feel like doing to him. He ain't gonna get it. You want him new?
Wow. Me personally, Josh?
Yeah. Let's move on.
Get senior care to take care of him, bro.
Speaking of old and washed up, the Vikings released their two-time former Pro Bowl wide receiver Adam Thielen. So he's free to sign with any
What you
team.
mean washed up?
And don't forget they.
He's not washed up.
What about
not totally? But
and they
you can only do so much when Justin Jefferson's on your team.
And they released the linebacker, right?
Well, Zadarius Smith. He requested a release from Eric Kendricks. Yeah. They released Eric Kendricks too. So two longtime Vikings are no longer on the team. That team's going to look a little different in terms of leadership.
No,
maybe Kirk Cousins could step into that role.
Coming to Green Bay, baby.
You think so?
Yo, the free agency market.
Give me Adam Thielen.
Yo, talking about
okay.
The free agency market is looking crazy right now. You have guys like Frank Clark out there.
Mm-hmm.
You have guys like Eric Kendricks out there. You have guys like Adam Thielen. I'm and then Bobby Wagner's still out there in the linebacker.
Byron Jones now too.
No, he's retired.
Byron Jones
from Miami.
Yeah,
the guy who talked about I can't run and jump anymore.
He retired earlier this week.
Damn.
Yeah, he put what's the guy for Levante Davis? It's a young man's game.
We bringing that back?
It's a young man's game. I can't do this no more. I can't run and jump.
We bringing that back? Nah, he didn't go that far. I mean, he had a reason.
He said I can't run. He said these doctors and these strength and conditioning coaches in the NFL, as far as the medical staff, is trash. And the same thing he said. A lot of Baltimore Ravens players saying the same thing. This is a young man's game.
R.I.P. Vontae Davis. He's not dead. He just walked away mid-game from the NFL.
Mid-game. I can't do it.
Retired in peace.
Yo, you out for the season? No, I'm walking away this game. I'm out, yo. I brought up Zadarius Smith. He requested a release from Minnesota, but
loser.
Yeah, the Vikings are like, what? We're not releasing you. And then he went on to thank the Vikings organization for a great season. Like, I'm saying goodbye, y'all. And the Vikings are still like, nah, we're not cutting you.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The funniest thing about this, because like him even going to the Vikings was kind of weird, because remember when he first left Green Bay, everybody thought he was going to the Ravens. Like, they thought it was a done deal for him to go back to the Ravens. It was like, no, I'm going to Minnesota. And then he didn't necessarily have one of the best seasons in Minnesota. I wish we had the track of the Minnesota screaming loudly right there. That would have been a perfect time.
Minnesota.
Thank you.
This one?
Minnesota! What was that play from?
Oh, he is so high.
Minnesota! What was that from?
Yo, he was just
screaming states, yo. It's just
naming
South Carolina!
Iowa!
But
Minnesota.
In a situation like that, I don't think that you should keep Zadarius Smith. Oh my God, I was trying to get that name right.
It's the hyphenation, not Trip Kill.
Yeah,
I feel
That's what it was. For those wondering, Kory just flipped me off.
Why are you telling?
There's a camera pointed right at you.
I was like this. I was scratching my leg. Wasn't I not? I was scratching my leg.
Nah, Nico, you need to be stopped, bro. Yo, continue with your
Scratching
point,
your what? You got shingles?
Not- Yo, you can't say anything. You really look older than me. Son out here look like a soccer dad.
A soccer? I might be motivated.
My boy. I'm like, who wears vests like that? Who wears
It's
vests?
cold outside.
Then get a jacket.
Why is there so many sleeves?
I only see men over 45 with some vests like that. It seems like some. Nah, I ain't even gonna say that.
Wait, what? Wait, what'd you say?
I didn't say
It's
anything.
too late now.
I didn't. Yo, whoa! I didn't. I didn't say anything.
Nah, I said just repeat the sentence you just said.
Oh, I was about to say that seemed like some. And then I was about to. I cut myself before I said anything. I didn't. Yo, tell me, I did not say.
No,
what
we
you
gonna run the tape. Don't worry.
Yeah, we going. Where were we, yo?
I don't know.
You
man.
think
We're
I-
talking Zadarius Smith.
Oh, yeah.
Should never left Green Bay, buddy.
Yeah, we don't.
He
know
has
about
best seasons in Green Bay.
I wouldn't go that far.
Nah, he did.
He did. He definitely did.
Say he had some good seasons in both.
He had way better seasons in Green Bay.
I would say he had some good.
He took that team. He took that defense over.
I mean, was it the Smith Bros they was calling themselves?
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of hard. It's going to be very difficult to see, like as far as how it goes. But I think he's going to be released.
We'll see. Tua will not be released from the Dolphins. They picked up his 5th-year option for 2024, so good for Tua.
MVP, baby.
I hope so. The Eagles give permission to Darius Slay Jr., the cornerback, and his agent Drew Rosenhaus to seek a trade, but the Eagles are still hopeful they can work out a deal with Darius Slay. The Eagles are also still not close on a deal with the league leader in picks, C.J. Gardner-Johnson, so that's two pretty prominent guys in their secondary. A secondary that struggled all year long, by the way.
True, but they did just sign back Brandon Graham.
Yeah, that's a good look for them.
Yeah.
But, you know.
You gotta find a way to get all these pieces back, man.
Listen, the NFC is wide open, I feel like. If the Eagles don't have the offseason where they keep a lot of those guys and add to the draft, the NFC is wide open. And, you know, our teams, Packers, Saints, Giants, if everything clicks for one of our teams, maybe they could be in the conference championship. Who knows? It's wide open.
It's gonna be interesting. I really want to know what happens in L.A. Because Matthew Stafford is out.
I saw that report yesterday.
Shake and bake.
Apparently
He's
the
gonna work in
future.
that offense, man. I'm
He
excited
played well.
for that.
He played well. Obviously, that game in SoFi versus Las Vegas, that great comeback when he didn't even know the playbook. Obviously, that's going to win over Sean McVay and some heads in that Rams locker room. And Stafford's an older quarterback. Maybe they move on from him if they can get good compensation. So there's that. NFC, like I said, wide open. The Raiders are in on, like I said yesterday, Jimmy G. Las Vegas is expected to pursue Garoppolo when free agency starts next week, but the Panthers and the Texans are also interested.
Jimmy G in Las Vegas, so that's crazy. The entertainment capital of the world.
Adult entertainment, too.
Hey, we wait forget about his other nickname.
What, porn star Jimmy?
Yeah.
You could say it, Kory. Don't be shy, little buddy.
Yeah.
Oh,
Is-
man. This is... Yo,
Is
Nico
it-
funny, bro.
Nico, I'm willing to.
Don't be a bitch. That's all.
That's crazy.
The Saints are working on an extension
He
for...
like somebody who has mastered the system. It's like he did all the Jedi tricks.
Kory, did you almost slip there?
System? What is? Wait.
I don't know. Yeah,
Tell me about that. You hearing stuff now? 'Cause You're hearing stuff now.
I want to hear from the caller. What the caller got to say? You're on Sports Talk. Talk to me.
Hi, this is Charlie from Belcher Cheeks.
What's up, Charlie?
I'll let you guys get back to football because I'm in awe of how in the middle of March it's all football all the time. Football is incredible.
Well, Charlie, what I would tell you is that I personally would love to talk baseball, right? Spring training, all the stories, and other sports as well, but...
I'm not blaming you guys. Football is king. It's king. It's absolutely king. I get it.
I just need some excitement out of the spring.
But I had to call regarding my beloved Nets. You must know that Kevin Durant is already injured.
Yeah, it was funny. It was a bad ankle injury, but when you watch, it's kind of like a cartoon character slipping on a banana peel. Like he just went up in the air and fell down.
Jonathan Kuminga or Kevin Durant?
Well, Kevin Durant.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. I don't want to see anybody get hurt, but my God, I have nothing but ill will towards that character. And God, they got 4 first-round draft picks for him. He's never going to play for these guys. He's old and fragile.
Hold on, wait. Which one are you talking about, Kyrie or Kevin Durant?
Kevin Durant. He got hurt.
I mean, I feel like he's going to play in the playoffs, I believe, and he's still going to be one of. He still could give you 35 on any given night, 30 to 35 on any given night
until the next injury.
I'm just I'm not happy that he got hurt, but there is justice in the universe. The Nets basically acquired 4 cancers. They would have been so much better off if they stayed with Kenny Atkinson, that group.
Out of all 3 of those guys, I would actually say Kevin Durant was the most loyal. Like he was, besides the injuries.
If he stayed, he left. He had a chance. He had a chance to be a mensch, and he left.
He was the guy in the playoffs where he was giving it all. It wasn't James Harden. It wasn't a Kyrie Irving. It was Kevin Durant, who, even though his foot was on that line, if his foot doesn't, if his foot was an inch shorter, y'all would have probably.
I get it. Yeah, I get it. I totally get it.
Out of all 3 of those guys, he was the only one.
No, he always gave you maximum effort, and he wasn't a complete head case like the other 2, and 3, including Ben Simmons. You guys don't even bother bashing him anymore.
Nah, it's just it's too easy.
This is low hanging fruit.
Yeah.
There's other things bashing
am I
him.
right that they would have been better off if they never went these experiments with the super team?
And probably, you're right. They probably would have stuck with Kenny Atkinson and
although they had a nice core of players, and they went off into the wilderness, and now they're back in the wilderness. But I'm just saying there is some justice in the universe, and then we'll see what craziness Kyrie will get up to in Dallas, and we'll go from there. But I had to call in. Now back to football, gentlemen.
Love it, Charlie. Thank you for the call, as always, man. Charlie from Floral Park, if you want to join the conversation in the next 10 minutes, 516-572-7440. The Saints, real quick as we close football, they are working on an extension for Michael Thomas, who tweeted, "Thank you, Jesus," after they signed Derek Carr. And they're also offering Jameis Winston a new team-friendly deal to stay with the team as Derek Carr's backup. So there's that. And that's about it for the NFL. Let's move on to the NBA.
The association.
I thought you were gonna have round ball music.
Yo, you want to start producing? Like what?
I
thought he was
beggars can't be choosers. I don't know what you want.
Kory, if you want to host the show, you're more than welcome.
Sit over there.
I could use a day off.
It's a tag team effort from y'all two right now.
We Eiffel Towering your ass right now, bro.
I ain't co-signing none of that, but I knew he was
high-fiving and going ham. Don't even worry about it.
I'm not.
Oh man,
be better, bro.
Yay, yo, hey.
So no shit. We need to put.
Speaking of Eiffel Tower,
we need to just put the show on Sirius XM. Show. I said
no. No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
No, you really didn't, Kory.
One second, time out. I said show.
Hey man, let's get on.
Time is at 47. All right,
time out. You get. I said show. We need to put this. I said we need to put this show on Sirius XM.
So speaking of Eiffel Towers, yo, Fox and Sabonis, they might as well just gone on. They was Eiffel Tower and the Knicks last night. If you ask me, just complete tag team. Just Fox dynamic and closing time. Sabonis triple double. Brunson Jalen Brunson comes back from that sore left foot, gets hurt again, and this is my main fear with the Knicks right now. I don't really care that they lost this game, but if they don't have Jalen Brunson healthy for the stretch run, this team's going nowhere.
I mean, just the fact that you put the ball in Julius Randle's hands at that.
Oh, no, he wasn't Steph Foulious-Carrandle last night. He was Bully Shambles last night. It wasn't Steph. I don't know where Steph Foulious went. He was rolling. I don't know where he went last night.
The situation with when you have Jalen Brunson out there, it's like with LeBron, right? Even though LeBron's usually the best player on this team, he's usually the smartest one. Like, he knows who needs the ball in those final seconds. Julius Randle, he's one of those guys that he's a shot chucker. He'll basically, if he has a chance to try to be the hero of the game, he's going to take it. And he's not one of those guys that's looking for the best opportunity to win the game.
I mean, he's not the only Nick that struggled. R.J. Barrett had 25 points, yeah, but 9 of 23 field goals. That's not what you want.
Question, like, what is everybody's opinion on, like, R.J.? Like what?
It's a burger.
I mean this completely respectfully.
Do you feel?
I mean this completely respectfully.
I want to preface this with two players, actually. R.J. and Obi.
Obi's cool.
Obi's him.
I say this completely respectfully to R.J. Doo-doo! As a third option, you can't give me consistency. You're not even. I know when Brunson goes out, you're bumped up to the 2 option.
So is it an insult that people call him Maple Mamba?
At this point, listen, RJ, Jordan Poole, who's playing like garbage now too, Tyler Hero, they're all peas in the same pod. They're all guys that got their money and got worse. I got no respect for guys like that in sports. I'm sorry. And I know Knicks fans and some Knicks fans want to be like, oh, RJ, our little number 3 overall pick. We love you so much. Other guys like me want to hold guys accountable when they're not holding their weight. That's what I'll choose to do with R.J. Barrett. But Emmanuel quickly, 1 of 11, 3 points. Yeah, let's close that door.
That's not
there.
crazy.
Let's close that. Let's close that door over. Yeah.
We're being invaded.
Yeah, just side conversations.
Marshmallow people are coming.
Kory's just lost right now.
But do you know where you are?
I'm not.
Do you know your name?
I'm not mad at anything. I'm just like I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the ride right now.
You're seeing our true colors, Kory.
I really want to know what it's like when I'm not here. It's probably even crazy.
I mean, it's the same. You don't listen to sports talk on your day off.
I do, but I was like, I work and I go to school, so it's like
it's okay. I don't either, but I'm here every day, so it don't matter.
Technically, you do listen because you produce most of the shows.
Yeah, I do. How concerning was this loss for the Knicks? Real quick,
Not at all.
I agree.
It's not concerning, but it does raise an eyebrow. You just don't want to get back into those losing ways. You want to stay strong. You want to make sure you stay strong down the stretch and get into the playoffs with a strong seed.
So yeah, the loss isn't concerning for me. Obviously, the Brunson injury and quickly finding the shot, which will happen. But Brunson's got to get healthy because Knicks fans right now have dreams after that 9-game winning streak of winning a playoff series. Not a couple games in the first round, a playoff series. If you don't got Jalen Brunson, I'm sorry, we're getting swept. If we have Jalen Brunson, I'd say we beat the Cavs. Without him, we're getting swept. I'm dead serious.
No, with him, maybe I'm just crazy. I can see them honestly going to the Eastern Conference Finals.
I can too.
Because why not? Because when they're good, they're amazing.
They've played all season long in terms of, you can look at net rating, all the advanced stats you want, but if you just look with your eyes too, they've played against some of the best teams in the league. They've beat Denver. They've beat Boston. They've beat teams like that. They've beat other teams that are around the top of the standings. Like, the Knicks have played good basketball against the best teams.
You know what? Just because I did it with the Giants, I'm gonna rock with y'all. They can make it to the East. They can make it to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Say they get that Boston matchup. We're 3-1 against Boston this year. Ain't nothing to sneeze at.
It ain't, but it's playoff atmosphere is different. We seen we seen a couple years ago. Knicks were looking good in the regular season.
Jason Tatum gonna piss down his leg.
They was looking good in the regular season going into the playoffs, and then Trae Young happened.
Damn.
Trae Young happened against the famed Elfrid Payton and Reggie Bullock. Trae Young happened. The king of Broadway. 9-13 lifetime against the Knicks. Trae Young happened. But the Knicks, remaining on the road trip, the Clippers, the Lakers. That's a back-to-back tomorrow and Sunday, and then Portland Tuesday. See if they can get it done. The Nets are looking to make it 4 consecutive wins tonight in Minnesota, but they have Royce O'Neal, Nick Claxton, Cam Johnson, and Ben Simmons all out with injuries. Well, Ben Simmons otherwise. Spencer Dinwiddie's out for rest. Ben Simmons probably out for rest too. Knee soreness. I don't know what to tell you. Mikal Bridges, though, in 11 games with the Nets, averaging 25 points per game on 51% from the floor and 50% from three, stepping it up from 17.2 points per game he averaged with Phoenix. And the Nets right now, if you look at the standings, are only trailing the Knicks for that 5 seed by 1 game. So, real quick, what do you think the odds are they run down the Knicks for 5th place? Or finish higher than the Knicks? I still think it's pretty low.
I agree with you. I think it's low as well.
Yeah, no shot.
No shot. All
0%
right.
chance.
Moving on to some NBA news and notes. Rapid fire. Grizzlies, belt the cheeks on the Warriors. The Warriors are just...
Can't win on the road, man.
That's the most pathetic defending champion I've ever seen in my life. 7-26 on the road now. Dylan Brooks and Draymond Green, we talked about a little bit pre-show. That drama continued. Draymond Green calling out Dylan Brooks on his podcast, but really lacking that energy on the court. Like I said, the Grizzlies did bitch slap the Warriors last night, but Draymond Green had all the smoke on his pod for Dylan Brooks. After he said, I'm not going to respond back to Dylan Brooks. Let me just give him a 40-minute spot on my podcast 2 days later. How do we feel about Draymond and podcasting? Do we think it's putting a target on his back?
It's making the games entertaining. I was thoroughly entertained because Dylan Brooks playing out of his mind. Like it felt like anytime he did a single good thing right, he was in somebody's face, and I was surprised he didn't get ejected.
What's up, everybody? It's Draymond Green, mate.
You just trying to get that stuttering, wasn't you?
Nah, not even this time.
But no, I actually like players getting into the podcast game as far as getting that perspective. Like there's certain ones I like more than others.
I like JJ Redick.
I like Patrick Beverly.
You do? Yeah, I can.
The reason why I like Draymond Green and I like Patrick, they talk real. They talk like they give you the real deal. It's not like they trying to sugarcoat it, be like some PR type of person.
Well, yeah,
they'll give it to you just how they'll give the conversation just how you normally would see in like a barber shop or something like that.
Those guys are entertaining. Yeah, Draymond Green, Pat Beverly, I want to hear from those guys. But Paul George put out a podcast.
No,
I'm like, you're not that entertaining. I'm like, I don't want to hear from Paul George. I'm sorry.
Not Paul George.
It's called Podcast P. He got creative with it. Really went outside the box.
Learn to be playoff P first.
No, he's Podcast P now. Podcast P. That's his name. Kevin Durant, like we said, reevaluated in 3 weeks. To be reevaluated in 3 weeks with that ankle injury. Luka Doncic had a thigh injury, but it's not serious. Sad news from Georgetown. So Georgetown legend Patrick Ewing, fired by Georgetown. Yeah, that's tough. I actually hated reading that today.
I seen people trying to come for Juwan Howard as well. Like, what's with all these coaches y'all want fired?
I know they're legends, but Georgetown had 13 wins the last 2 seasons. That's not what you want. No matter who it is that coach.
I feel like he'll always have a job in like the NBA as far as being an assistant coach somewhere. Like he was the Orlando Magic's assistant coach for like a good long minute, especially when Dwight Howard was there. I feel like he'll help some team out. But as far as that goes, feel sorry for Pat. He's gonna bounce back though.
We'll see. The Rangers bounce back though. Their first win in the Pat Kane era. He scored his first goal too. A game-tying goal in the second period. No goals were scored until no goals were scored really until the shootout. But Nico, how you feeling about that win? That victory in Montreal.
Embarrassed.
Whoa! You embarrassed?
This is one of the worst teams in the National Hockey League, and I feel like the game should not have been as close as it was. Like I was expecting a beatdown. Like I wanted a 7-2 win. I wanted all the glory, but no. God said no, not today. And yeah.
Well, winning games is tough in hockey. I would think. You can't
but
be mad at
when you have the best roster on paper, I feel like you should be beating down on teams like this and not getting, bitch slapped a little bit. So,
hey, they get right back at it tomorrow evening against Buffalo. So we'll see if they can keep the good vibes going. I know it was a tough win to get against a lesser opponent, but you feel good about it. Any final thoughts?
Kory's old.
Man,
Say something. Say something.
Parting shot.
Say something.
A parting shot.
Say something. Bitch.
Thank you once again for listening to WHPC Sports Talk. We had a great week. Great day here in the studio. We'll see you next week. But for Nico Each, Kory David, I'm Joshua Umahi. Signing off. Thank you for listening to the Voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.